Hello everyone, and welcome to November's Artsnacks unboxing. First up, we have our handy info card, as always. A bottle of Amsterdam acrylic ink in titanium white. An aquarelle pencil in salmon pink. A Princeton Velvet Touch brush. A Plumchester brush pen. And of course, our sticker. And our snack, which is one of the novelties of Artsnacks boxes. This time I got a blue raspberry airhead, which I've gotten this a couple times in these boxes, and it's always my favorite choice. So one of the interesting things also about Artsnacks boxes is the color choice of the different materials is completely random. So my only colors I got are a very pale pink and white pigment. Thankfully, I had some black paper stashed in my art studio, which will make this challenge a lot more visible to everyone. These are definitely fun bubblegum colors that I got, so I'm going to go with that theme, and beforehand I did a light sketch on the black paper just as a guide. I'm starting first with the acrylic ink, and as you can see, even over this dark black paper, it's pretty opaque. When it's not mixed with water at all, it shows up really bold, bright white. I'd say it's really like a mix between a watercolor and an acrylic paint, which I really enjoy. What's nice is that it can be thinned and blended with water, but once it dries, it's actually completely waterproof. So that's something that's very different from watercolors, and that's a really cool feature. I'm also really enjoying the brush. It's nice and soft, which I tend to prefer, but it still has a pretty firm touch, kind of more tight bristles. And it's another brush that, according to the info card, can be used with a variety of mediums. So it can be used for either acrylic, watercolor, whatever else. And I really appreciate that because I do tend to like to use my brushes, especially if they're more of an investment, for more than one material, since I work with a lot of different mediums. It's nice when you have brushes that you don't have to just reserve for one purpose only. Now that I've got everything blocked in with the white ink, I'm going to move on to the watercolor pencil. This is another material that's supposed to be versatile and works really well, according to the info card again, for blending either dry or using it like a watercolor pencil and blending wet with water. That vibrant pastel color looks really great on the black paper, so I'm enjoying how it looks just dry as it is. And it does shade over the white painted areas too fairly well, which is nice. I do a lot of mixed media, so any materials that can also be used over top other completely different materials are really great for a lot of the art that I do. Now blending it with water, the blending is going to look a little different on black paper, but I can see that it fades it really well and you still see some of that color. So even on the black, after I've diluted it with water, you still see that pink over top. So that shows that it has a really bold finish. Now I'm going to use the brush pen to add a couple details to the face. Again, I'm happy to see that this works really well over top the acrylic ink, so that's great that this pen can be used over top other art materials and not just straight on the paper. This is a really fine brush pen. You can get a tiny little mark if you just press softly and use the tip. And then just angling the tip slightly, I can get thicker lines, a more brush-like effect. This is definitely the most precise brush pen I've ever used, and I really am impressed with this. And that concludes this month's Artsnacks challenge. I'd say the material that came in this box that I would use the most is definitely the brush pen. And Artsnacks gave me a true challenge this time around by giving me white paint. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see future unboxings and other fun art demos, be sure to subscribe.